see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face.
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, guess any. And coming to you live from the Brick House Bar and Grill here in Sayreville, New Jersey. Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Sal Angioletti, and of course my co-host,
Kevin Wall.
And Matt Siriani.
What's going on? Wow, we're out and about.
We got a crowd. You got your volume on right now, so make sure you turn that volume off.
Make sure you turn that down a little bit. Yeah.
But it is good to be here. We got a nice crowd. Say hi, Mama. Say hi, everybody. But
I know where you got that from because
I know what you.
Our boy Bon Jovi came from this area.
I was watching the Crush tour not too long ago, so I'm sorry, it's stuck in my head. But it's great to be here. You know, obviously we're one step closer to having the MLB deal get there. Obviously, it's not going to happen today. It may not even happen tomorrow. But I am confident that we will get to a deal by the end of this week or going into Monday. So I said it yesterday on my other show, Poke the Woke. Ed Cho, by the way, is in attendance. But I made that prediction that we will get a deal done by March 1st or February 28th, which is that Monday. So I know February is a shortened month. It throws me off all the time. But they got to get it done. They have to get it done because you have spring training. You have that deadline at March 5th.
Yep.
And Major League Baseball, they can't afford to have another shortened season. With the 60-game season in 2020, and again, it was all the COVID stuff. It was all the pandemic. They can't afford. I mean, they're on thin ice right now with the fan base, the new generation, Rob Manfred's rules, and all that. They got to get something done because if they have another shortened season, and even if they play 161, not 162, they're in trouble. They really are. You got to have a full season to make sure that you are intact. You're ready to go. You have your fan base happy, and they haven't been happy in quite some time.
No.
So you got to make sure that you get a deal done, 10 years, whatever it is, and then you got to get the Rob Manfred the hell out of here because he is a dweeb, in my opinion.
Well, we heard somebody wants to punch him square in the jaw.
Who's that?
Mr. Rich Goose Gossage.
Is
too
that
happy
so?
with our
the goose?
The goose.
Oh, I did see that, and then he wants,
the goose
he
is
wants to
loose.
put Brian Cashman like in a trash can or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened in 94, 95 with the strike? Because of that, the Expos got ousted out of Canada because of the strike, and the fans aren't
they
going to
lost
come
a
back.
potential title, and the Yankees lost a potential title.
So we won't see fans come back. You know, with all the hoopla going on, what happened to Marcus Stroman on Twitter today?
Oh, yeah, so Marcus Stroman, you know, he's not afraid to make a statement, and he's also not afraid to block you, by the way. He's not afraid to block you on Twitter. I mean, he's got 500,000 followers, whatever it is. I don't know exactly. Actually, I got the number on me right now, 512. So I was kind of close. But he could have 2 million if he wanted to, but he just blocks everybody. So he's a little sensitive. But however, this did break some news. Because I remember in November 2021, he said, all I want to do is be a New York Met. I love the fan base. I love the organization. Steve Cohen's got a vision. We're going to get it going, and we're going to win. And especially if we're spending money. Now, I believe the Mets had a different option. They had Max Scherzer. And he's been great his whole career. And yeah, he's 37, but he was solid with DC, and he wants to win. The Nationals are not a winner.
Right.
Hence why Juan Soto turned down a 13-year contract, $350 million. So now, 3 months later, the tables have turned. They signed Scherzer. Showman's, out of the dark. He goes to Chicago, but he's not afraid to make a statement whenever he wants, especially... He's not afraid to pull the race card. I mean, he pulls the race card more than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
In Major League Baseball and arguably professional sports. But however, this was different. And they were talking about it on the air this afternoon in New York. And apparently, Marcus Stroman said that he got death threats. He was being called racist remarks by Met fans. And apparently, the front office didn't do anything. They didn't care. They were aware of it. And once he realized that, he was out. So even if the Mets were interested, apparently he wanted nothing to do with that team. He said he's going to speak about it at some point on this podcast and on this topic. But Marcus Stroman, it's a new can of worms. And if you're the New York Mets, even if it's not true, and again, when you hear that remark, you got to respond to it. You have no choice.
Yeah.
But I am curious to see how the New York Mets are going to respond to these allegations that just broke a couple hours ago.
Yeah, these allegations are very, very serious. Of course, every sports league should take these allegations very seriously, especially involving race. And Marcus Stroman has put his word out there. These are very disparaging remarks, and you don't want an organization to be tarnished by such racial remarks. And unfortunately, for Marcus Stroman, his reputation is being tarnished by this, and he's putting his career on the line. Because if these allegations aren't true, he's going to face the consequences of being blackballed.
It's funny that you said that because Marcus Stroman, like I said, he's not afraid to make his opinion known. Right. And he's not afraid to pull that card no matter what. And before I heard these comments, and I heard he was going off on the Mets and all that, he was doing like a Q&A on Twitter. And I was thinking, you really got to look at yourself in the mirror. Allegation after allegation. Maybe it's not the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe it's not the New York Mets. Maybe it's not Joe Schmo on Twitter.
Maybe it's him.
Maybe it's you. And you're 27, you're young. Listen, I'm a young guy. Matty, you're a young guy.
Yeah.
It takes time to mature. I'm 25. I don't know if I'm mature yet. I mean, I think I am, but who the hell knows? My actions, who knows what will happen. But anywho, sometimes when you have all these situations, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, maybe it's me. Maybe I got to shut my mouth.
Right.
Maybe I got to be the man and just bite the bullet. And after everything that doesn't go my way, I pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Your words at 27 years old are very, very important. Like, you know how my mom told me something very, very important, and it's that when you're little, like a little kid, everything you say, if you lie about it, they're going to be like, oh, it's fine, whatever. But, like, the older you get, the more you say things that are untrue, it's going to get magnified even more. And especially if you're a professional athlete, like, you can't have lies spread to an organization and have them...
But the thing is, why would he lie about that, though? And listen, I don't know what's true and what's not true. We're going to find out eventually.
Yes.
And again, the New York Mets will have to make a statement. But it's going to take some time to figure it out. But this is a guy that does pull that card a lot. But
And it's going to be fun when he comes back to Citi Field when he's pitching.
We'll see when that day comes. I don't know when the Cubbies are coming to Citi Field. Obviously, they will be because they're an NL team. But when I'm thinking, like, listen, you're a good pitcher. You're young. You're talented. You've proven yourself. You can pitch in New York. If you can pitch in New York, you can pitch wherever in the country.
Right.
Just keep grinding. Ignore the noise. Now, again, if this is true, you stand up and you make something. But if this happened, and a guy like Marcus Stroman, how come he didn't say something 3 months ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Or 2 months ago? If he's being called all these remarks on Twitter by Met fans, and we don't know who they are, but if something happens, and it's kind of the same thing with Brian Flores. Now,
yeah, exactly.
I actually kind of believe Brian Flores in a way. But if you see these allegations, especially in 2021, 2022, you got to say something immediately, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So why wait now? Why wait February 23rd when this was happening for the past year and a half?
I guess he wanted to pick his time, and he apparently...
But he's a guy that's not afraid to say his mind on social media, and he would point that out no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't care if the Mets are on the verge of winning a pennant or going for a run. He's not afraid to speak his mind.
No.
That's the thing. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. This Stroman who's kind of really, like, shut the ground with New York media in the past couple hours.
Oh, everybody loves New York.
But it makes you think, he was in love with Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen, when he bought the team in December of 2020, I believe, or November 2020, it's sometime between 2020 and 2021.
Yes.
Like, he made it known, like, Strowman, you're my guy. You're this, you're that. And Strowman's like, I'm in love with Steve Cohen. I want to be his guy for the rest of my career. And then a year, there's a lot of questions for the Mets front office that have to answer some questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a little hurt that he didn't get chosen.
I think that too, because the Mets, they have been all in. Listen, look what they've done. They got Marte. They got Scherzer. They're not done yet. Once they get this lockout, they're going to get another arm if it's either a starting pitcher or a bullpen. And they're not afraid to get another batter in the lineup, especially now with the National League getting the DH spot full-time, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'm an old-school guy. But here we are. I mean, eventually it was going to happen.
It was going to happen. It was bound to happen with the universal DH. It was bound to happen because, everyone thinks that they have this hidden gem when it comes to designated hitters, and we're seeing that now. And who knows? Like, it's going to affect the game dramatically. Like, baseball's never going to be the same again.
I don't know if it'll never be the same. I mean, at this rate right now, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, and that comes from the commissioner's office. That comes from Tony Payne or Tony Clark. I'm sorry.
Tony Clark.
That comes from so many people up and above. But if I'm Major League Baseball, if I'm the owners, but that's the thing. Rob Manfred is like, the owners love him. And you got to remember, this is a strike between the MLB owners and compared to the players. The owners were the one that started the strike. But if Rob Manfred is loved by all 30 owners, again, you need to have that vote. They're not going to vote him away, especially if they're in love with him.
No, not at all. I think the DH is going to help the National League pitchers more because you're saving. Say DeGrom is running out an infield hit or whatever, and he tweaks a hamstring or he pulls a groin or whatever, and he's out.
Well, you got to remember Ching-Ming Wong in 2009 tore his Achilles against
yep.
Houston when they were an NL team.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But you don't get excited over that when you see an NL team, an NL pitcher, like a Madison Bumgarner, for example, or CeCe when he was with the Brewers.
Right.
You never got hyped up when a pitcher that that he can hit. He's not going to put the sacrifice bunt 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
He's going to swing and be gutsy. And Bumgarner's arguably, or I think hands down, the best pitcher that was able to hit. Again, there's a lot of history that took place, before we were born and even Sal when you were born.
Yeah.
I hate I'm not.
Well, the DH come in 73, so in the American League, and Ron Bloomberg, of course, was one of our friends on Facebook, and we talked to Ronnie here and there, but hope to have him on. But he was the first ever DH in the American League, so.
But you really think it's going to make a difference, though, with
I believe so, and it's going to give more depth to a National League team. Let's say Luke Voigt now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come back to the Yankees.
And he still doesn't look like me, by the way.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, he goes to the Cardinals. He goes back to the Cardinals. He could platoon first base. Him and Goldschmidt could go back and forth with being a DH and a first baseman. It gives more, even with Pete Alonso, if he goes to the Mets, the same situation. He could play first,
well, that's
and
going
he
to
could
help.
DH.
Well, that's going to help
forth.
the players like a Pete Alonso that needs a day off. You can put him in the DH. That's going to help. I'm trying to think of who I'm trying to think of any big guy in the National League.
Right.
Even like a Joey Votto. Now, is Joey Votto still even playing? I think he is.
I think he's still playing.
Yeah, I believe he's still playing.
He's still with Gallo. Gallo's back with the Yankees, though.
No, he was signed for another year.
Yeah,
he
we
was
got
signed
him
for another
back.
year. But when it comes to the National League, I don't know. I've always enjoyed seeing the pitcher. And listen, they may have a 170 batting average. They may get 3 RBIs in the season and 2 hits. But there's something that's so exciting. If they're not going to sacrifice bunt, it's fun to see the pitcher hit. And if, God forbid, they hit one out of the park, and that's like a 1 in 1,000 maybe.
Like Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, like Bartolo Colon.
Yeah,
That's
like
another
Bartolo,
pitcher
yeah.
that can hit the ball.
He could still pitch, by the way.
You think he can?
I think he could.
I mean, the Yankees, they need a couple arms. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Maybe the Somerset. Why not? I would see him in Somerset.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we got the Somerset Patriots, the Yankees affiliate. Got a new team in Staten Island, Independent League and the Ferry Hawks.
What's that called? Hudson Valley? Or
who just signed Roger Clemens' son.
Is that so?
Yes, so Roger Clemens' son is going to be playing, I believe, center field for the Staten Island Ferry Hawks.
Wait a
which
second.
is an independent league.
I thought he signed with the Detroit Tigers because I saw a video not too long ago regarding Roger Clemens. He tweeted it
With his son.
with his
Was
son.
it just one son or two? I gotta check that out. Go ahead.
But his son was putting on signing a contract with the Detroit Tigers, and Clemens had the Tigers hat on. Does he have two sons? I mean, I know he's had.
Does he got two sons?
Well, he was a little wonky donkey back in the day when he was a pitcher.
Oh, back in his playing days,
Yeah, he liked country singers.
I seen him at Madison Square Garden for a concert. He had a blue pinstripe suit on.
Is he a good guy?
Oh, he's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
He
He
seems
was
like
in
a
the
nice
front
guy.
row. It was some Farm Aid concert. He was at
Farm Aid?
Farm Aid.
Farm
It was
Aid, what's
like
that?
Farm Aid is like you get all different acts.
That sounds like an Amish, concert festival.
But speaking of Amish
in
concerts,
Bumble, Ohio.
there you go.
Yeah,
Richie's in the house.
There we
Richie
go.
Santa and his brother Rob. Elvis right there.
There we go. But Roger Clemens, I mean, I still think he got snubbed, though, in the Hall of Fame. He
Yeah.
still got snubbed. I don't care what anyone says. Baseball was better with steroids. I've been saying that for years.
What's that? And they're
I
not
will
even
keep on
checking
saying it
anymore.
today. And
Yeah,
they're
not checking for
anymore.
steroids anymore.
It's funny. After Barry Bonds' last year to make the Hall of Fame, they go, well, we're not going to test no more. The hell with that guy.
Well, you got to remember though, Bonds and Clemens can still make the Hall of Fame. They're going to be part of the modern era committee, and they're
Yeah,
going to
but
be
that doesn't
nominated
really
there.
count. But
Yeah, that don't
we knew
really
they should have been in the Hall of Fame 9 years ago.
Wait, why-
Say what you want about the steroids.
Why doesn't the modern era committee count? Like they're still
No,
eligible.
I'm saying, but it should have been done the right way when you had your years of eligibility.
Okay.
When I see play like Don Mattingly, for example, that's somebody that should be in. Oh, okay, yeah, Clay Clemens.
Yeah.
He is with Toronto, the
Yeah.
Toronto farm system. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what they got.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a Tigers hat, but whatever. It is what
Oh,
it is.
first base. All right, so you center field?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess
But,
so.
wish them the best of luck. But when it comes to that, like, they should have been in the Hall of Fame 9 years ago. I don't care about the steroids. I don't care about the PEDs. Sammy Sosa deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Mark
I even
McGwire?
think
Somebody say
Mark
Pete Rose?
McGwire. I mean, that's another topic. I mean, he wasn't juicing. But he was also betting on his team. So, I mean, he wasn't betting against his team. He wasn't like Paul Crew back in the day.
Gambling and steroids are like two different things. Like steroids.
Yeah, but
are
which is worse?
gambling?
Yeah, you
I
go.
mean, gambling's not destroying your liver.
Gambling's legal now in Jersey. New York,
Gambling's
so-
legal in Jersey and in New York.
Well, in the words of the
So,
great,
if he comes over here, he makes the Hall of Fame.
well, in the words of the great Norm Macdonald, yeah, they call gambling a disease, but it's the only disease where you can win a bunch of money. It doesn't hurt the liver.
Exactly.
But the unfortunate thing with Pete Rose, he's gonna go when he passes away.
Yeah, that's
Now
what sucks.
he's an old guy. He's 80 years old. So I don't know how much. I mean, I hope he's got a long time to go. 10, 15 years. But,
Something like that, yeah.
But he will get in when he's deceased.
Posthumously.
Yes. But that should not be the case, though.
No, it really shouldn't.
Get him
No,
in now. And times have changed. I mean, like you said, Matt, it's legal in half the states. It's eventually going to be legal in all 50 states.
Yeah.
In our lifetime, give it 5-10 years. It'll be legal in all 50 states. Do you know how much money the state of New York made in their first month of legal wagering?
Oh, I
on
can't-
FanDuel and
Over $1
DraftKings?
billion.
Over $1 billion.
Okay, where's it going?
And that was, yeah, we'll find out.
Why don't they clean the streets and get
yeah.
those people off the street?
But that was before Super Bowl Sunday.
Ah.
So January 1st compared to February 1st. So you had a 12-day window compared to then to the Super Bowl. And
Right.
they made $1 billion.
That's crazy.
And that's not even. And the other thing, that the majority of it's football. I mean, yeah, you have the NBA and you have hockey and college basketball, but the NFL is the moneymaker for
Oh, yeah.
both the states and both for our pockets if we get lucky.
exactly. Exactly.
But I can't imagine what the Super Bowl, what these states were making. I don't have the exact numbers.
It could be. Who the hell knows?
Well,
It's got to be up there.
oh, it's hundreds of millions, I would say.
What did Warren Wolf used to say? If you took the Rams in the over, you lost.
oh yeah, if you took the Rams over,
I had a weird parlay on Super Bowl Sunday, and I really thought it was going to hit. I had a Higgins anytime touchdown. I had a Burrow throwing a touchdown. Cooper Kupp scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
I had the over. The Bengals covering by 4.5.
That
And then the
covered.
Rams money line. And I really, at halftime, I'm like, I am so confident because, Burrow, he's going to eventually have to find a way to get Jamar Chase involved.
Of course.
Cooper Kupp already scored. Higgins already scored.
Yeah.
were on pace to hit the over. I still thought the Rams were the better team, even though I was on the Bengals bandwagon.
It didn't go over.
But Jamar Chase never scored, and I missed the over by, 5 points or something like that?
Well, it was 48 and a half was the under and over, so it was 46 total, so you missed it by 3 points.
I'm telling you. It was exciting. It was a good game. I wasn't disappointed. I mean, it was a $10 parlay to win $1,100. So I just put everything on that.
You just put $10 in.
But if you want to have a boring Wednesday night, if you want to watch the Grizzlies the Magic and what's another bad team?
Magic and the Rockets.
And the Rockets, yeah. You can make that a very entertaining Wednesday night.
You could.
That's great.
That's why, it's not bad that it's not legalized, but it will be legalized in all 50 states eventually.
And when that does happen, then you could probably think that it's going to get Pete Rose in.
Yes.
Is it legal in Ohio, though? Because he was with Cincinnati Reds.
I believe it's now legal in Ohio, as a matter of fact. I do believe it is.
Like that,
or they're in the process of making it legal in Ohio.
Like the reason why I asked is because he was a Cincinnati Red through and through. And that's one of the reasons why I asked, because if it's legal in Cincinnati and it's legal in the state of Ohio, then there should be then he should be eligible for then everything that he did before should be washed away.
So this is actually, as of January 10th, 2022, Ohio along with Florida and Nebraska, they are the 3 states where sports betting is legal, but it's not yet up and operational. So it's going to take some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time.
Without a
But
doubt.
you can't even bet, now obviously in New York and Pennsylvania and Jersey, but you can't bet on college sport teams. And I can't place a bet on Rutgers or Seton Hall in the state of New Jersey. And if I'm in the state of New York, I can't select St. John's, or in Pennsylvania, Villanova. Maybe Villanova, I'm not 100% sure, but you can't bet on UPenn. You can't bet on, Pennsylvania's a lot different because how big is New Jersey? 2 hours going north to south.
Yeah,
2.5.
about that length. Yeah.
And how many sport
without
teams?
traffic.
In New York, it's a much bigger state. They got their college teams, and same with Pennsylvania. But you can't bet on St. John's when it comes to betting in the state of New York on FanDuel.
Wow.
I gotta check that out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Next time I go to PA, I gotta make sure Villanova is up there.
Speaking of gambling, Las Vegas, Nevada, it looks like the Oakland A's are inching closer and closer to getting a stadium and moving out to Vegas, maybe in 3 years. And I was reading a story that
Could they get out
they're really heavy in talks with Nevada there to move them.
The thing is, can they get out of their lease? So their lease is up in 2027 with the Coliseum.
So it's 5 years.
So you got 5 years at least. But we're seeing process potentially with Oakland. I mean,
Yep.
to save the city of Oakland, Oakland's going to be irrelevant.
Yeah, they're
in 10
begging
years
them with
if they
that
leave.
waterfront stadium with all those things we saw in the beginning a couple of years ago when they were showing pictures. But Vegas they're willing to open up to them. I mean, the Raiders stadium is beautiful.
It's too big to be a ballpark for a baseball team, though. They're
going to build you got to definitely build a retractable dome out
Well, they
there.
want exactly what Oracle Park is in San Francisco with the Giants. They want exactly that. But the city of Oakland, I mean, they let the freaking Raiders leave. They let the Warriors. I mean, the Oracle Arena was a dump to begin with.
Yeah, it was.
It was a total dump, and you knew they were going to move to San Francisco.
So
Despite
they share the arena with another team, right? The Warriors.
No, they're not with
the
San
Oracle
Francisco.
Arena was their own thing. You're thinking about
I'm
the Lakers
talking
and the
about-
Clippers. You're thinking about the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yeah, but who?
That's
The
Inglewood.
Warriors just opened up their new one, right?
2 years ago, yes.
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Clippers are on their way out. They have their own stadium that's going to be built in Englewood, outside of Los Angeles, but that's going to be like another 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
But the city of Oakland, they lost the Raiders. They lost the Warriors. I mean, for God's sakes, they lost the freaking Oakland Raiders.
Twice.
And the stadium's a
But this
dump.
is different, though. They came back, but they actually, they're never coming back to Oakland.
No.
No, look how big that stadium is. During the Yankee rain delay, they said there was flooding in the dugout.
I mean, it's
In
been like that
Oakland.
for
It was literally
years. Even like in the
flooding.
90s, it's been like that.
You're talking about the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that.
The
Oh,
Ocean
that
Coliseum.
place is a dump.
No, we know that, but if you want to save your city, I'm not even talking about sports fandom, because Oakland will be wiped off the map for the majority of the people
Oh, big time.
if the Athletics do leave and they go to Las Vegas, which wouldn't surprise me. I've predicted that. But if I'm Oakland, you got to do whatever you can. If they want a waterfront stadium, give it to them. If you want tourists coming in, bring it to them.
Yeah, and then
And that
of
will be a hot
course,
spot years to come with New York and Boston and Philly fans. When it's time to go out to Oak, they'll come and then they'll go see a Giant game across the river.
right?
Or
And
across the bay.
and Nashville, Tennessee is pushing hard for an MLB team as
Yeah,
well.
That day's gonna
the
come.
Nashville Stars, hosted by Justin Timberlake.
Oh, stop it!
Oh my God! No,
I don't want to see that.
The Nashville Stars.
See,
how many
I-
people are going to own teams?
See, I got a problem with that. If I see celebrities and now they're just gonna be owning teams and owning leagues as a hobby. Now I don't know if I'm just a jealous guy, but Steve Cohen, he does this as a hobby, but he made his money the natural way.
Yes.
As being a businessman, a successful businessman.
Yes.
But when I see Dwayne the Rock Johnson, all he does is make money just by being in front of the camera and look pretty and flex his muscles.
That's right.
And no one's the XFL.
Yeah, now he owns the XFL.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that.
Justin Timberlake, he knows how to sing a song and maybe play the guitar a little bit. But that's about
He's got
it.
enough money to buy the NFL if he wanted.
He does.
He will. Oh, jeez.
Oh, look at that! We got
Oh, thank you, Darren. Thank you.
delivery from Darren. It's not mine. I don't drink.
Oh,
we go.
jeez. Thank you.
At least that's not the chili contest you had against Gio at
Oh,
on the fan.
That's right.
Oh, that was disgusting.
I watched the whole thing.
Did you?
I did watch.
Did
the whole
you
thing.
actually think he was going to vomit on the air?
He
looked like it.
He looked sick to his stomach after he ate all that chili.
It looked like he was going to vomit.
Well, here's the thing. You're not supposed to eat chili out of a watered down, cold, in a blender. You don't do that. When you eat, and you're not supposed to drink it. This isn't like a water diet or a juice cleanse. I mean, you got chopped up beans and beef and
He calls me up. He goes, "Hurry up! I'm going to be on Boomer and Gio."
yeah, you should be lucky. I only had
So
2 minutes to call
I-
somebody
I-
other than my
I
parents.
said, "Why am I listening to it on radio? I got my phone. I got the direct TV stream, and there he is with Gio chugging chili." And I saw the look on his face. I'm like, "Oh, he's going to barf right."
My
in
dad
pail."
thought the
Nah,
same
he,
thing.
he looked sick.
He didn't know I
looked
was
sick.
going to barf.
Oh, your father thought the same
Oh,
thing,
he thought
right?
the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the thing is, you eat chili on a cold day. You don't chug it or drink it. I mean, can you think watered down cold chili? Just get chunky soup. Okay, get the beef chunky sirloin. Don't even warm it up. Don't put it on the stove or the microwave. Just put it in
You
a
saw
cup
that, right?
and just go AWOL and chug it. I dare you. That's what it's like. Because chunky soup, they say add water to it too. So make sure you do that,
Yeah.
and then get back to me.
I'll do it. You know, I might even consider trying that.
You know what? We should do it on the show. I'm not me. I'm retired from that, but you two.
No,
I'll do
no,
it.
no.
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
I'll do it.
You got to bring him with you then.
I'll bring. You're serious, right
Yeah,
now?
I'll do it.
Shake on it. Next Wednesday, Matty Ice is going to be chugging chili.
I'm chugging chili.
Darren, you heard that, right? Your son's going to chug chili on the air.
Yeah, bring the
right.
chili. Bring the chili. I'm not
Oh,
scared.
does Meg want to do it too?
Hey, gentlemen, no throwing up in the podcast studio.
No, we
no
won't do
chucking
that.
in the
Hey,
podcast
listen,
studio.
He's got a new studio. You
Hey,
can't
listen,
do that.
listen. For any of you who don't know me, I have a solid stomach. I've eaten like 2
Oh.
pies of pizza. Not a single time did I feel sick to my
You
stomach.
ate 2 pies of pizza, one
2
shot.
pies of pizza.
How do you eat 2 pies of pizza? I can't even eat 4 slices.
I have first off, I love pizza. That's number 1. Number 2,
We all do.
I have an endless appetite. And number 3, every time I eat something, it just goes away. I never feel anything.
So you weren't bloated at all, or you
Nope.
didn't feel like you had a baby kicking?
Nope. There's a pizza place somewhere in New Jersey. I forget what it's called, where if you eat an entire pizza pie, you get a T-shirt.
Oh, it's Three Brothers from Italy.
Yes.
Three Brothers. Yeah, it's right on the boardwalk. in
Yeah, I
Seaside.
did that. I did that.
You ate the whole pie.
I ate the whole pie. I ate 2 pies.
Now,
in
there's a
one
place
day.
in Ocean City where if you can eat a whole pie in a certain amount of time, depending. So if you get it in under an hour, you get 5 free pies. If you get it in 45 minutes, you get 10, 30, and upgrades to 25. Under 20, 50. But if you eat it under 10 minutes, if you're like freaking Kobayashi and devour that pizza like a savage, you get 50 free pies.
Yeah.
50 free pizzas.
Wow.
Do you think you can eat that full pie in 10 minutes?
Yes, I can eat a full pie in 10 minutes.
I gotta see this.
I can eat a whole
You know
pie in
what?
'10 minutes.
I'd rather see the pizza pie challenge. The
Well, we
pizza
still got to
challenge.
do that Brooklyn trip with you to take you to Nathan's.
I've never been to Nathan's.
All right,
I've been to
we
the-
gotta take 'em to
I've been to the
Nathan's.
food court. I don't know if that counts.
that don't count.
I also think I said this before on the show. I could beat Joey Chestnut's record. Yeah.
Gotta get him in.
I love the confidence. Don't get me wrong.
I can do it. I can do it. Listen, Joey Chestnut.
Have you ever eaten? What's your PR for hot dogs eaten?
My PR for hot dogs?
Yes.
Probably like 10, 11 hot dogs in the span of a minute.
Is he telling the truth? He's like a trash can.
Okay, that says he's like a trash can, so we're good.
I kind of want to see this. I mean, I would rather hold off the chili challenge because Ming said no puking in the studio. And I'm telling you, it takes 10 seconds, and I thought it was going to come back up. I knew it was disgusting and all that. But the pizza, you can handle it.
Yes.
So 1 whole hour, we'll get you whatever pizzeria you want in Monmouth County.
Okay.
We'll get a pie. It'll be on me. I'll pay for it.
Okay.
Or Sal can chip in too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get you Federici's because that's thin crust.
Why don't we just go to Federici's because we might run into Tico Torres again.
Yeah, we could do
eating
that.
dinner.
You know, I wanted the pizza. None of us ate pizza. I was disappointed. But we'll do that, and then we'll postpone the chili for another day.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. All right, we'll do that.
We'll do that.
Fair enough.
We'll do
Pizza
that.
next Wednesday, 6:00.
All right, we're at the 6:30 mark, a half hour in on the show. We want to thank everybody for coming down and
Thank
the
you,
crowd
everybody, for coming in.
over here, over at the Brick House. We want to thank Marianne and the great staff over here. And Matty Ice, you ready? This is Matty Ice, the Iceman Comet, we call him, from Siriani Says. And this coming August 21st for you Yankee fans, we are retiring Paul O'Neill's number.
21.
Number 21 will be in the annals of the outfield out in Monument Park. And Matty Ice, the biggest trade the Yankees made was 1993. We got Paul O'Neill for Roberto Kelly.
That's right.
It was probably a steal of a deal. Roberto Kelly once coming up as a Yankee outfielder and was part of the ever-growing, soon to be up there with the rebuild of the Yankee dynasty. But
when you had a young Bernie, and then you had
Bernie actually came in before the core four. So Roberto Kelly for Paul O'Neill. We thought Yankee fans, what happened? I was happy.
We got 4 championships out
We
of
got
him.
5 actually.
No, 5. He won 1 with Cincinnati.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, he did win it with the Reds.
In 1990, he won the
when
championship
the
with
Reds
Cincinnati.
swept the Oakland A's.
Now, was that was like the beginning of his prime? So he started
Yeah.
in the minors in what, like 88, 89?
Yeah. All right, so
came back
here's,
in 90.
here's Paul O'Neill's stats. So he was drafted.
Did you see the famous play? I'm sorry to cut you off. Remember when he was at Cincinnati, there was a ball that was bounced into the outfield, and he kicked it back to the infielder instead of picking up and throwing it.
I mean, that is one of the top 5
But
highlights for
go
Paul
ahead,
O'Neill.
Matty Ice, with Paul O'Neill's wonderful stats as a Yankee instead of punching all the coolers in the Yankee dugout.
Okay, so first off, the reason why Paul O'Neill did things like punching the coolers and getting into brawls and was so beloved by the fans was because of his commitment to the game. He loved baseball, absolutely loved it, and he was committed to his craft. So he was drafted in 81 in the 4th round by the Cincinnati Reds, and obviously in Major League Baseball, it takes a few years for you to get to a roster spot. So from 81, it took 85 to land in the minors. He had 1 at-bat as a Cincinnati Red in 85, and it was a base hit, a single. He spent a majority of that year in the minors. 86, he was on and off, but mostly on the minors. 87 was when he first came to the Cincinnati Reds as a full-timer. He didn't play 150 games like he did in 1990, but he never hit below 250 in his time with Cincinnati. 1990, which was the championship season, that was when he started to come alive. He had 270 in 1990, 16 homers and 78 RBIs. In that postseason, he had 277, 1 homer and 5 RBIs, but again, they got the World Series ring that year.
So he struggled big time in that year.
Yeah, he struggled. In 91, it was his first All-Star game appearance, 256, 28 homers and 91 ribbies. He batted, actually, false alarm, he just hit below 250 in 1992. 246, 14 homers and 66 RBIs.
And that's when he got traded right there. So
that was when he got traded.
That's when the Reds decided to give up on him because his stats were tanking slightly. I mean, decent. I mean, not Paul O'Neill numbers compared to 1990.
Right.
But 240, 14 home runs, 56 RBIs, whatever it was. It was 56, right?
I wonder how much they
246.
246,
I wonder how
I'm
much
sorry.
they signed him for.
Well, they
before
traded
that.
for him. Oh, the Reds.
The Reds itself, we don't know the kind of deal he got, but
Well, if you look at the math right now, so if he came in 87, the 6-year arbitration, the Reds decided they didn't want to trade him or extend him. So that's when they got rid of him.
Right.
And Georgie knew that you need a left-handed batter with that short porch, and you have Bernie, you had Mattingly at the time. it wouldn't hurt to
Don't
bring
forget
another.
you had somewhat Kevin Moss was supposed to be the next Greg Nettles or whatever he was doing at
I
first
mean,
base.
every
Pagliarulo was the
every
third
prospect
baseman.
that we have is going to be the next Greg Nettles or the next Derek Jeter. I mean, everyone's hyping up Anthony Volpe. I mean, he could be just as a bust as Kiyagawa was when he was a pitcher in 2007. I'll believe it when
they're
I
hyping up
see
a
it.
couple of minor leaguers from Somerset to come up. So
I believe
man.
Volpe's going to be in Double A this season.
Yeah.
So anyway, continuing with Paul O'Neill. 1993, he hit 311. I think he used that trade to the Yankees as motivation to get better. 311 in 1993, 20 homers, 75 RBIs. Now 94, we talk about 94 all the time. He won the batting title, 359 359. 21 homers, 83 ribbies. Made the All-Star game, his second All-Star game appearance. But of course, we had the strike and the season ended.
August stopped baseball. So you imagine if there was a full season with this guy, where he would have been, and probably had a lot more home runs.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
everything changed though after 94, so we know what happened in 95, and then that's where the dynasty began in 96, 97, 98. And Paulie was a big factor, though, being in that lineup.
Yeah, he was. And in fact, in the 1997 postseason, he batted .421, but the Yankees were one and done in the postseason.
Well, I remember that when he was going for two, going for that double against Cleveland in that final game of the ALDS.
Yep.
Oh, man, trying for two. You hear Buck trying for two, slides head first. That was such an alpha move right there, just being aggressive. And, I mean, we've known how competitive Paul O'Neill has been his entire time. I mean, I know I'm not a Gatorade bucket, so
As I'm looking at the stats, then he started after
Then he started declining.
98. After 98, he started to
Decline
and dwindle down, and of course, coming off the field in the outfield.
In 2001, yeah.
In 2001,
And
Game
the
5.
Yankee fans knew it.
Game 5 in 2001, fans were giving him a standing ovation. Paul was emotional.
Of course, yeah.
The Yankees won the game, but they lost the World Series that year because Mariano Rivera gave up a save.
We don't like to talk about that, Matty Ice.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that, but it's true.
It's funny, we poke fun of Roldis Chapman. Mariano gave up a lot of big hits and home runs as well.
Well, if you think about it, so
Don't
yeah,
forget.
we'll give 01, yes. 04 in the ALCS.
That's right,
yes.
04,
97
97.
against Cleveland.
But, I mean, I'm taking Mo any day over Chapman. I don't trust Aroldis Chapman, no matter... Once I remember him in 2019, I'm like, here we go. Even when LeMahieu tied the game, I'm like, we have a chance.
Yeah,
I just don't trust Aroldis Chapman.
Chapman is no Mariano Rivera, and people will remember the reason
I like him
why,
in May.
The reason why Mariano Rivera is in the Hall of Fame unanimously is because his save rate is like 93-94%.
Yeah.
That's his save accuracy rate.
That's insane.
93-94%. Like, obviously nobody's perfect, and we know that. But I remember a good friend of mine when I was at Rutgers University. By the way, go RU.
Yes.
So
they had a big win the other day, right?
yeah. Well, they played Purdue and they fell short, but they kept it close and they covered the spread.
That's all that matters.
But anyway, my friend Corey Jason, who I went to Rutgers with, he's a big baseball guy. He said most shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame unanimously, and the reason why is because of 01, because of 04, because of 97. But at the same time, it's like if you couldn't find another closer that was that dominant ever, and like I said, like he probably gave up 2 championship rings over the course of his career, but Mo was almost reliable every time he stepped on the mound.
Oh, of course. And listen, I mean, it would have been nice to see 1997. It would have been nice to see 2001 especially. But like you said, at the end of the day, he's the all-time saves leader. Look at that percentage. There's a reason why he went unanimous. He's beloved. He loves the game. Always gives back to the community. And I know that doesn't mean anything. I mean, he's just a better person. Great pitcher, but a better person. But there'll be no one else like Mariano Rivera.
No.
There'll be no one like him.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I don't...
Not time, at least.
I mean, Trevor Hoffman, I mean, he was the best of all time, and then what... I mean, he blew Trevor Hoffman
Could you
away.
imagine if Trevor Hoffman wasn't a Padre and he was on a contending team?
Oh, my God.
Well, he was at one point when the Padres
Well, the
were good
Padres,
in the late 90s.
don't forget, the Padres were good. Tony Gwynn, leader of the pack. They'll be, in my eyes, the guy was a phenomenal hitter. I don't think you'll see
You won't see
consistency
anything
like
like that.
that.
No. And he was a big guy, too.
Oh, yeah.
For someone that can hit the ball.
Yep.
And he died young, too. He was like, what, late 50s, early 60s, something like that? He died pretty young with a heart attack, I believe. No, but he was consistent. But He was also with Milwaukee. He was with the Brewers for the end of his career when they were making that run in 2008 when they got CC Sabathia and when he was pitching on every 3 days rest.
Yeah.
And now, he did play for contenders at the end of the day, but yeah, the Padres. They were terrible. After '98 for about 15 years, 16 years, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And I still think even with the people that they got on their roster, they can never get past the Dodgers. And now you got to worry about the Giants because Gabe Kapler really turned that team around.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and it's a shame. Like the Padres are essentially starting from scratch when they fired their manager. Well, they collapsed big time, and people are kind of assuming that whole 2020 season shortened might have been a fluke because it's only 60 games. They started off hot in 2021, and then they couldn't hold on. They couldn't sustain consistency.
Yeah, they just fell off the map, the Padres.
Well,
we actually thought they had that division at one point, and then it was like a back and forth, and then the Dodgers just got hot and made the right moves. And speaking of LA and a few other ball players who you don't think would be on their teams, Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Does he go back to the Dodgers, or is he
come on.
playing with another West Coast team?
He's not leaving. Cut that garbage.
Okay.
He's not leaving.
Here's one guy that everybody knows is leaving. Wins his first World Series from Hotlanta, Freddie Freeman. And every Brave fan knows he's not coming back. Where does he go? Does he come to the Bronx, or he goes somewhere else?
He is. We've heard a lot of talking in the past 24, 36 hours regarding. Oh, is that food? Oh, bring it over.
What do we got here?
Oh, jeez.
We have pretzels.
We got pretzels and Stein.
Pretzels and Stein.
Oh my.
Who wanted chicken tenders?
Who ordered that? Was that
you,
thank
man?
you, Darren.
Was that Big
Thank
D?
you.
It was Big D.
Was that you? Is that yours?
I was doing.
Oh.
I was doing good, man. Keto, and now you're gonna make me ruin my ketosis.
Look at this.
It is what it is.
It is. Look at this.
It is what it is. But
Great food here. If nobody's been here, I'm gonna knock you in the back of the head.
Very, very, very sneaky good food here. Very, very,
Very
sneaky good food.
very sneaky young men.
thank you very much.
This is great people.
We'll dig in
Kidding
for
me?
sure. But going back to what you were saying about Kershaw, he's not going to be going anywhere. And then Freddie Freeman, the talks in the
Hey,
last.
look at this. Down
in the-
David in the audience. There
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
pretty cool.
I
In the
saw
la-
you walking in. Even though I'm blinded by the light here, I'm good.
But in the last 24 hours with Freddie Freeman, it doesn't seem like he's coming back to Atlanta. And I thought it was a lock.
Well, he
after they
wanted
won
to
the
be
World
back.
Series. He did want to be back.
He wanted to, but even like Luke Voigt, he knows he's not coming back to the Yankees. And unfortunately, I feel bad. And I liked him, the decline when he got injured. And he can hit the ball a lick out of Yankee Stadium, though. But I think Anthony Rizzo might be coming to the Bronx. He could go back to the National League, being with the DH.
Well, Rizzo's still under contract, though.
No, I don't think Rizzo is.
No, he's
I know
under
Gallo
contract
is.
for one more year.
Joey Gallo? No, Joey Gallo.
We're back on that. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Oh yeah.
But no, I believe Rizzo is still. No, I think you're right. I'm sorry. But who would you rather have, Freddie Freeman or Anthony Rizzo? Anthony Rizzo, he's like.
Either one is good.
He's like that good-looking chick in high school. Yeah, she's cute. I'll take her to prom. But Freddie Freeman, she just matured earlier in high school compared to Anthony Rizzo. That's how I look at it.
That's great.
That's awesome.
But 50 home runs in the 314.
Your father's trying to make me fat.
And then also you gotta remember Luke Voigt had that 22 home run season in 60 games, so that's basically.
Well, that's the thing.
Did you say Luke Voigt hit one to Detroit?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that's going to kill him, though. Or the shortened season benefited him, and then when he got hurt, someone's going to pick him up. I don't know who. If I'm him, yeah, you want to stay in New York, but the writing's on the wall. And with the Yankees lineup, even if they wanted to keep him, it's not diverse compared to lefties and righties.
Right.
That's why you got Gallo. That's why you got Rizzo. If you're bringing Freeman, hallelujah. But the last thing that the Yankees need is another right-handed batter. And I've been saying that for how long now?
You've been saying that for a long time. You keep talking about how they need diversity on their roster with right.
Well, we're talking hitter-wise. We're talking
hitter-wise, yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
You need a balance.
You need that. You need that in Yankee Stadium, especially when your right field porch is what 314 down the line.
314.
There's no excuse.
You need a powerful left-handed bat. You can mix and match. I hope Not for nothing. I'm a fan of Brett Gardner. A little Gardy party back in the Bronx wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
But we might have seen his last days in pinstripes.
I mean, we've known that though.
And we know Brett since his days starting with the Staten Island Yankees and making his way up. So
I think Brett's done. I don't see him on another team. I mean, why would you want to go to another team? I get it. It's the ego. You can still play. You want to prove the Yankees wrong. But how rare and how often does it happen where you start with one team, you build your way up in the minors, and you're not like, an all-star every year. You're just a balanced guy.
Yeah.
When you're good, you're good. When you're bad, we hate you. We want to chop your head off pretty much.
Exactly.
But
I'm making a mess already.
But Brett Gardner, though, why would you want to go to a different team? You have the career. You have the plaque. I guarantee you he'll have a plaque one day. He'll never get his jersey retired.
You don't see number 11 getting retired?
No. I don't even see 13 being retired. I mean, obviously Joey Gallo's retired 13.
That's a hot take right there.
I think that's why A-Rod got mad.
That's a hot take right there.
That's why A-Rod got
The
pissed off.
Yankees have to stop retiring numbers on top of that. I mean, who do you got? So you got 11?
11.
So let's say 11's open, 12's open, 14's open, 15's
I'm
retired,
surprised they
15's
didn't
retired for
retire
Thurman Munson.
18's open,
Yeah.
17's open.
Scott Brocious wore
Oh, no,
18.
17's Boone.
Yeah.
But, you got nothing in the single digits. I mean, you're going to run out of numbers. We're going to have 000.
Speaking
50
of the
years from now,
Yankees,
Pretty soon, we might, if things go well with Aaron Judge, he might get his number retired.
I mean, that's one you can
What-
probably
what's
afford
going on
if
there?
he's good.
Yeah.
was he making statements that he wants to stay here, or what's going on?
He wants to stay here.
He wants to stay. He wants to be the captain.
I think both parties want him to stay, or they want to stay in New York.
Yeah.
Judge wants to stay here. The Yankees want to extend Judge. I'm not giving him 10 years, though.
No.
You got to remember, he's an older guy. He's not 26, 27. He's in his 30s for crying out
Well,
loud.
look what happened with the last 10-year contracts the Yankees signed guys at.
Well, A-Rod.
All those money. A-Rod.
Robinson
Giancarlo.
Cano.
Robinson
Albert
Cano.
Pujols.
Right.
I mean, the writing's on the wall. And
Bryce Harper hasn't worked out yet.
Well, he's
he's
doing
been good.
okay with Philly. Our Philly boy's not here tonight, but
I mean, the team's not good, but he's putting MVP numbers up. But eventually, 8 years from now, 9 years from now, they're going to be in trouble if he's still with the team. Now, I don't know if Joe Girardi's going to get that team going, but who knows?
it's going to be interesting in the NL East. The Mets-Phillies rivalry has really become bigger now than before, with the two former Yankee managers managing in the National League going head-to-head with each other.
Yeah.
That's going to be because they know each other's moves, because Girardi learned a little bit from Buck and Torrey as well. But that's,
And even
that's gonna be
Manley.
something, yeah.
Even Manley. I mean, the Marlins are a completely different team. I mean, they're in I don't want to say they're in trouble, but I mean, they're in a full rebuild mode. And Derek Jeter's never going to let...
Oh, yeah, service with a smile. Look
Thank
at
you.
this.
Thank you, Darren.
Happy waitress over here. Happy waitress.
Happy
We
waitress.
haven't been over there in a while. Did she move?
Did she move?
I have no idea.
I mean, we got to hit her up. I don't know. She was a good waitress. She made a good gyro.
Never mind.
Yeah, don't even go there. But, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
But-
I bet.
I mean, he said happy waitress. Sorry, it's okay. But when it comes
What
to...
about the other one? From the pizzeria.
Oh, I missed that one.
You know what's funny? We were actually down that way working.
Oh, did you stop?
We went there for lunch.
Did you see her?
She wasn't there, but the other few guys were there.
How they
remembered
doing?
who I was.
How they doing?
Good, good.
Jacoby Ellsbury, John Gonzalez saying Jacoby Ellsbury was a big contract. Yeah.
No, he just sucked.
Oh,
to begin
he
with.
Ellsbury.
That
right
was
in
bad.
The Yankees
No,
keister.
he
That
just-
was a bad
No,
contract.
that's different because at least these players lived up to their
Yeah,
contracts
but
in
did you
the
see what
beginning.
he said, Ellsbury? He's
Who
another
cares
one.
what
a
Jacoby
moron.
Ellsbury said? He's a fraud when it comes to New York. He's a fraud.
And you gotta mention too, like, when the Yankees sign former Boston Red Sox, for the most part, it doesn't go well unless you're Babe Ruth.
I mean,
Wade
Johnny
Boggs.
Damon.
Wade Boggs.
Damon
Wade
was
Boggs.
good.
Boggs was good.
Yeah. No, but you don't think Johnny Damon was good?
He was okay.
I always loved Johnny Damon.
Johnny Damon's cool. I met him at PNC Art Center.
Did you?
Just walking around one of the concerts.
Was he just as proud as he was in his DUI video
I
last year?
don't remember.
I mean, you remember that DUI video of Johnny Damon?
We got about 10 minutes left. Hey, Ming, let's see if anybody in the audience wants to talk with us. If anybody's willing, questions, whatever you got.
Audience, if you want to get on the mic with us, now's your time.
What do you mean Paul O'Neill doesn't belong in
Listen
the
there, Mr. Comedian. Sit down and whatever.
Hey, come here.
No, Paul O'Neill. Well, no, the Hall of Fame different. But when
Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a star panel behind us. That is Mr. Ming Chen, our producer from the TV show Comic Book Men with Kevin Smith. We got CJ over there. And we got Mr. Comedian there. What's his name?
Edward Cho.
Edward Cho.
Thank you.
What's his name? I can't even see him.
Wait, what are you saying? You don't think Paul O'Neill deserves to get his jersey retired?
No, I do not.
Why is that?
There's a couple. There's a couple reasons why not. Number one. Okay, I'm not saying he wasn't a great player. He was a great player. But if you look at the other, okay, let's take a list of the people.
We got the Ben Shapiro. Edward
No. Let's take. Wait, hold on. Look at it. We got Yogi. We got Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, Whitey Ford, Lou Gehrig, Reggie Jackson, Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle, Mariano Rivera, and that's just a few.
I thought you want
to throw in Paul O'Neill in that mix. You think he deserves to be in a mix of those people? It absolutely cheapens the Yankees' legacy by doing this. By those great players that don the pinstripes and then putting in Paul O'Neill because you think, right, that he was a warrior for those 6-7 years. That's why, because of that. He's not even, and first of all,
look at the rings, Ed. Look at the rings. That's all that matters.
He has a full hand of rings.
Okay, we're gonna go rings now. Is that what it is? So we're gonna. So you honestly feel that Paul O'Neill was better than Don Mattingly?
No.
No. Answer the question. It's all about rings. It's all about rings. We're talking rings here.
Ed, you want to let me talk?
Okay, go.
You want to let me talk? Yeah. He was at least dominant, though, in 96, 98. 99, he started downgrading, but he was a big reason why they won at least the first 2 world championships. Don Mattingly may have been a better Yankee because he was there for 13 years, but the whole team stunk, though,
I think his
until
jersey
94.
is retired. Isn't Mattingly's jersey retired?
Yeah, number 23 is retired.
No, Mattingly's retired, yeah.
Yeah, it's in here. That's my point. My point is...
Dave Winfield.
No, unfortunately, his number is 31, and it's not retired.
Dave Winfield is not retired.
I mean, but that was also another
the Yankee
crap
hitting
year.
coach was wearing that.
What's up?
Now it used to be Newlands is up.
Paul O'Neill's number is going to be retired. Who's next? Tino Martinez. He's on the same team. He was just as good
He's
as
right,
Paul
number
O'Neill.
24. He's right.
Tino doesn't listen.
got it.
I love Tino, but Tino doesn't deserve 24 retired.
He's got a point. Number
I have a
24.
question.
Is Chuck Knobloch?
You heard it? Retort on that. Retort on what he just said. Retort on what he just said. Beautifully said.
With Tino Martinez?
With Tino, number 24.
Retort on that.
But he downgraded, though, at the end of the day. And then once they kicked his ass to the curb after 2001, get Jason Giambi, Tino's career was shot after that.
He went to St. Louis, and then he came back to the Yankees.
Well, he also had a stint in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. You went back home to Tampa.
Again, Tino was another good Yankee at the time, but he was only there for 5 years.
What happened? What do we got?
John Gonzalez said Yankees are retiring. Andy Hawkins is number 40.
Who cares? Who cares?
Wait, is that confirmed, John?
No, that's a joke.
So
Andy Hawkins was probably the worst pitcher in Yankee
You might
history.
as well retire. What's up, Ed?
Quick question. I don't know, but you guys might. Has Paul O'Neill ever been on the Hall of Fame ballot ever? I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't think so.
I don't think he even got
I don't
there
think
yet.
so. No.
And this is the same guy you want to retire his number so no one else
listen,
can wear that
Ed,
number?
if it was up to me, I don't care. I would have made the decision.
He's got a few good points there.
But his number hasn't been used in 20 years. So if it's unofficially retired, might as well retire it now.
And if I'm not correct, I think some Yankee player after Paul O'Neill retired wore the number 21, and he drew criticism from that.
No, they never did.
If this was any other team, I would agree. But because it's the Yankees, it's a story franchise in baseball.
I forget who
That's
was.
the only reason why.
Someone tried to wear the number 21, and nobody liked it. And
I don't blame
switched
him.
number 22.
I'll give you this, though. When it comes to Met fans, Keith Hernandez deserves to get his number retired before Paul O'Neill. And people are saying they had this little conspiracy saying that, the reason why the Yankees are retiring Paul O'Neill's number is because that the Mets are retiring Keith Hernandez's number. Now, I don't think that's a conspiracy. I mean, I think that's a little ridiculous because the Yankees have so many numbers retired.
Yeah, they have 22 numbers retired
And Keith Hernandez, his number should have been retired years ago on top of that. But when it comes to O'Neill, I personally don't care. I mean, he was a good Yankee with him.
Yes, see, Matty Ice is correct.
So who was the Yankee that wore 21?
The relief pitcher LaTroy Hawkins briefly wore the number to start the 2008 season, but on April 16th, he switched the number to 22 in response to criticism by Yankee fans.
Wow, he caved.
He caved.
So yeah,
He caved.
so if they really cherish the number 21 in honor of Paul O'Neill, then maybe they should retire his number. If they really cherish it that much, like there aren't a lot.
So why now? Why 2022?
Well,
If you were drawing criticism in 2008 about it, why wait 14 years?
I guess the time. I guess they had.
You know, I thought the same thing because it took so long. I mean, he came back to the old timers day, which, you know, I missed.
Oh,
those.
great. So does Nick Swisher. We're not retiring 33. Am I right? Am I right?
No. Nick Swisher-
Well, don't forget David Wells wore that number.
David
He
Wells-
doesn't
Is
deserve.
that next?
I mean, he had a good '98 season and decent in 2003 before he blew his back out in the World Series. Thanks a lot, David Wells. Thanks a lot, Boomer. But no, he didn't deserve his number retired.
Yeah, Nick Swisher definitely doesn't deserve his number retired.
But I get the argument though with Paul O'Neill. I'm not losing sleep. I could have woke up and I wouldn't have cared if we're not going to retire Paul O'Neill's number. If they finally want to give Anthony Volpe, for example, 21, cool, whatever, move on.
Yeah,
But now that they're going to retire it, it is what it is. It hasn't been touched other than once in 20 years. So why not?
Here's a question I want to ask to both of you. Do you think it was fair for them to retire Bernie Williams' number 51?
Bernie Williams is not a Hall of Famer, great Yankee.
Bernie never officially retired.
Yes,
Never.
he did. Yes, now he
When?
did.
Now he did.
Now he did.
Look how long it took him.
Yeah,
It took 5 years.
It took him a
Took
while.
longer than that.
It took.
Took a lot
I
longer
feel
than
I
that.
feel like
Well,
what
he stopped playing in 06, but he was playing for the World Baseball Classic in
That
2009.
That don't really count, though.
But he still played, but he wasn't officially retired.
I personally think that we're starting to see really good
He officially
players.
retired in 2015. I'm sorry. He did officially retire in 2015.
That took him long enough.
I feel like the Yankees at this moment are starting to retire numbers that are of really good players, but not fantastic players.
It's got to stop, though, because we're going to have 000 and 101 as your everyday shortstop 50 years from now.
But you want to know what is going to happen, though? And I'm very excited for this. The Yankees and Spike Lee created a docuseries called The Captain, honoring Derek Jeter.
Oh, Spike Lee made it? Oh, I can't wait to watch.
Spike Lee...
He's made good movies.
Spike Lee produced a docuseries called The Captain. It's going to come out this summer. It's going to document the career of Derek Jeter, his 20 years in pinstripes, the 5 World Series wins, the 14 All-Star Game appearances. And it should be fun. It comes out this summer, and I'm looking forward to it because I mentioned this on the show before. I grew up watching Derek Jeter. He inspired me to play.
Oh, of course,
play
yeah.
Little League baseball. So,
But Spike Lee, that kind of, I mean, Jeter's my guy. I guess I'll bite the bullet, but Spike Lee, put some bad taste in my mouth.
Let's see. We got 3 minutes. I was going to start singing Iron Maiden's 2 minutes in midnight, but it's not even close to that. We want to thank everybody here at the Brick House Bar and Grill. We would love to come back, and hopefully you will join us in the near future. I want to thank my gentleman here to the left. This is Kevin Wall, who is a producer at CBS
here we
Sports
go.
and WFAN Network.
Yes.
And is also my great co-host, also with Poke the Woke. Right here is Matty Ice, the Iceman Comet of Siriani Says Sports.
Yep.
Gentleman right out of Rutgers University.
Go Rutgers!
That's my brother-in-law, Darren, yelling in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you once again, Marianne and the great staff here at the Brick House Bar and Grill. And I'm your host, creator, Sal Angioletti, and always New Jersey!
stay classy!
Good night and welcome.
Out of breath.